You were just and I remember he had black cleats on, and it did, with the darker color cleats, it doesn't look like you're moving as fast. But man, he just pulled away, and that was the first time I saw him, and I'm like, wow. I mean, and he was incredible that whole night.
It looked effortless. That's the best way I can describe how Matt Jones played on a weekly basis. When he would run up and down the field, when he would make those cuts, when he would throw it, it just looked effortless. And anytime, and people always wonder, man, this guy is just unbelievable to watch, and how it seems like he's not even trying, and yet all of a sudden, in just a second, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the more exciting players to watch in the SEC in the past 20 years.
Because what you want is that you never know what's going to happen. Anything could happen when they get the ball in their hands. And that was the way Matt was. That's the way Manziel was. Is he going to run it? Is he going to throw it? Is he going to go for 80? I mean, anything could happen. That's what made it so much fun.
First time I saw Matt, it was on the basketball court. Van Buren played at Rogers, and Rogers had him with about 2 minutes to go, and I think Matt scored 15 points in 2 minutes and hit the shot. I believe the shot he put him into overtime with the 3-point that tied the game, and then he took over in the overtime period, and just broke Rogers' heart. And I think he might have been a 10th grader. Would he have played as a 10th grader, Tommy?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he did. I think he was, for those 2 years at Van Buren, he was one of the main players for Randy Lloyd's teams.
Yep, and he was and didn't do a whole lot for 3 quarters. I mean, it was the ball might have gone through his hands, and he'd dump it into the post, didn't do a whole lot, and then it was time to win the game, and it was just it was all Matt.
Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
That's kind of how he played football too. When it was go time, when the lights came on, that's when he was at his best. So,
I think we also had the privilege. You speaking about when the game's on, when it's some of the best. I think we had the privilege last year watching one of the best single seasons in college football history, and that was Joe Burrow and the display that he put on. He played one of the toughest schedules in college football, including going to Texas and beating Sam Ehlinger and the Texas Longhorns, going to Bryant-Denny Stadium and beating Nick Saban and Tua Tagovailoa, beating the teams he did in the fashion he did, beating Oklahoma in the college football playoff semifinal, and then beating Clemson in the national championship, a team that expected to give them more than they did. I mean, this guy just, anytime they needed a play, anytime LSU needed a big-time play, he made it. And we know how much of an impact Joe Brady had as his passing game coordinator, and we know the talent that he was surrounded by with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and others, Thaddeus Moss, Randy Moss's son. I mean, but for what he did from year 1 to year 2 at LSU was unbelievable. And time again, you couldn't count this kid out. And again, LSU, I know that everything's gone wrong since LSU won the national championship, but give credit to where credit is due. Joe Burrow not only had one of the best single seasons we've ever seen, but had one of the best college football shortened careers we've seen as an LSU Tiger and in the history of this conference.
To do it on the stage that he, like you said, Ty, the setting, he went to Austin and played an incredible game. But I'll go back to the national championship game. In the first quarter, I thought Brent Venables had some diabolical blitzes and really confused him and hit him and changed up what he had wanted to do. In other words, they took him out of a lot of their base plays. And the first quarter was a little bit of a struggle, but he figured it out before the first quarter was over. It didn't take him halftime. In that second quarter, he was just magical. And it was just like he'd been all year. And so the last 3 quarters against Clemson, he cut up a great defense and a great coordinator's plan just in routine fashion. Just looked like there was nothing to it.
And Brent Venables is one of the best defensive coordinators in college football. Some would say he is the best defensive coordinator in college football. And you mentioned Joe Burrow that game. Clay, Joe Burrow went 31 for 49. That's a 63% clip. Threw 5 touchdowns, didn't throw an interception, and then also ran for 58 yards and ran for a touchdown as well. So 6 total touchdowns in that game against one of the best teams in the year, this past season in Clemson, and then one of the best defensive coordinators of all of college football.
Yeah, and those were first rounders that he was beating.
Exactly.
I mean, it just, you go through the corners and the safeties and the linebackers that he was beaten up on. It was, I mean, he was doing it against a great coordinator with great players that had basically a month to prepare for him. And they had some novel stuff for him to start the game, and looked like disrupted him, but he figured it out, and he's like, come on, we can handle that. And just like nothing, no one's business, just kind of diced him up the rest of the game.
I think
that 63% was about 18% lower than what he'd done all year, thanks to that first quarter when they had him a little confused.
Yeah, you mentioned some of those draft picks. A.J. Terrell, I think, is one of those guys. Who was the Kansas City kid that wanted to go to Arkansas that we're forgetting?
Isaiah Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons, first round, I believe, first round draft pick. I mean, they didn't have the defensive line, Clay, that they had 2 years ago with Dexter Wilkins or Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, and those guys. But I mean, the back end that you're talking about, whether it's a linebacker, whether it's a secondary, they were loaded. And you mentioned Joe Burrow was just so, even if he struggled at first in games, which wasn't often, he eventually figured it out. And that's what made him so difficult to game plan for and play against, because like whether it was Nick Saban, whether it was Brent Venables, whether it was just different teams that he played throughout the season, you might get him for a quarter, you might get him not really a half, you might get him for half a quarter, and then eventually he just owned you, period. And he was just so, he was one of the most, what gets overlooked with him, I think, he was so accurate. Like, he was so precise. Yep. I mean, there's a reason he had the statistics that he did. Clay, you brought up that he threw, we said that he threw 63% in that college football national championship. But if you look at his season, like his season total percentage-wise, his completion percentage was off the charts compared to what other quarterbacks do. I mean, you think about standard, I think, is a little above 60%. Like, if you're doing that, you're a pretty good quarterback. But what he would do as just for as far as an accuracy standpoint goes, just you couldn't blitz because he'd find the one-on-one coverage, mm-hmm. and if you left him all day to throw, he'd pick you apart. I would hate to be a defensive coordinator trying to figure him out, and that's why no one could this past season.
And that's why he went where he went in the draft, right? That's why he's going to make the money he's making.
So unbelievable quarterback. I mean, there's a game he threw 85%, torched Arkansas for 82%. Good grief. Just an unbelievable player.
And not all those were little bubble screens behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, some quarterbacks pad their percentage stats because they throw these extended handoffs. You know, these were still down the field throws. Mm-hmm. These were still footballs at risk when you let them out of your hand.
Love that crossing pattern over the middle to either Chase or Jefferson. I remember him throwing that a lot this past season. Let's round out the conversation with Tim Tebow. I know we're coming up on a break, but Tim Tebow, as much as I hate that he won the 2007 Heisman Trophy, there's a reason that he ranks where he is as far as SEC quarterbacks is concerned. I mean, what he did, 50-plus total touchdowns that year in 2007, unbelievable. Clay, you mentioned he didn't necessarily do it in Johnny Manziel fashion, more Cam Newton, power, strength, just sheer will to get first down, sheer will to lead Florida. Won a national championship with Chris Leak in 2006 as the backup. Won a championship in 2008 against the Oklahoma Sooners. This was an absolute winner, and he did it from the jump since he arrived at Gainesville.
All right. With Tebow, his ability, if he'd have ever figured out the throwing motion, how far could he have gone in the NFL? That was obviously the knock is the long wind up and the arm slot not be where they wanted it. How far could he have gone? Because his athletic ability, his just pure athleticism, is right up here with all these other guys we've talked about.
Unbelievable player. Would have liked to see what he had at the NFL level. Just didn't get to it. I know he had that one victory when he was a Denver Bronco over Phil's Pittsburgh Steelers, but outside of that, I know they won that season when he was inserted as quarterback over Kyle Orton, but it just didn't look like, and it doesn't seem like that he's ever going to get to where he wanted to be at the NFL.
Hey, no better place to spend your 4th of July than at Gaston's White River Resort. If you haven't made all your plans for the weekend, or maybe you've got a weekend coming up this summer, you're looking for something new and different to do, and certainly with a lot of the concern that there is around the country with some of these states closing things back down, the coronavirus numbers, it's always safer to stay closer to home, and Gaston's gives all of us that option. 870-431-5202, and that's on your mind, rightfully so. Here's the thing about Gaston's. All of their accommodations are private. Every cabin, every lodge is individual. It's not a hotel lodge type setup where your room is right next door to someone else's. You're passing people in common areas and hallways. It's all set up for you to have a unique and individual experience at Gaston's. Learn more online at gastons.com, then call and make a reservation at 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Yeah, boss, I kind of like that.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Now is the perfect time to invest in your own backyard oasis. And Burton Pools and Spas has everything you need. Semi-in-ground pools starting at just $9,997. Hot tubs starting as low as $2,695. And that includes delivery, cover, and startup chemicals. And with 60 luxury spas in stock, you're sure to find the perfect one for you. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Folks, we at Mosquito Joe understand how important your yard is. It's where some of your best memories are made with your family. It's where you play catch with your kids or grandkids. It's where you have your friends over for those backyard barbecues. You don't have to keep letting mosquitoes crash the party. There's a solution for that now. Mosquito Joe protects your yard so you can focus on what's important. Call Mosquito Joe today. Get your first service for just $39. 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Big box retailers cannot compete with the experience and expert-friendly advice from the paint store in Van Buren. I have tested myself and then chosen just the right blend of Richards Paints to give you the best performance. Richards Paints is a company with the same philosophy as the paint store. Top-notch coverage, extreme washability. The bonus for you is the friendly expert advice you will get free with every gallon. Call 474-4505 or stop by 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
Oh, hey, do you know what goes great with your favorite tunes? Cold beer from Sody's Wine and Spirits. Did you know that at Sody's you can choose from over 600 single bottles of craft beer in their Pick 6 section to make your own six-pack? And for the freshest beer, be sure to pick up a growler. Order online at mysodys.com and pick up in the drive-thru. Or download the new Sody's app and save 10% on your first order. For the full Sody's experience, go to I-540 in Phoenix and Fort Smith.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday. Still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination. Following all of the state guidelines in a state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Things are really heating up at Rath Auto Resources. Hi folks, Larry Rath here with our biggest sale of the year, the Summer Sales Drive. It's the best time to save on a great inventory of Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center to ensure you're buying the best pre-owned vehicle you'll find anywhere. And we're making it easy with $1,200 Rath Auto Relief to use as you choose on select inventory and summer savings on every car in stock. Like a 2018 Hyundai Elantra SEL, low miles and fully equipped, just $13,993, or payments as low as $0 down and $219 a month while they last. If you're keeping the car you have, let us get it ready for summer in the Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Summertime is fun time and the right time to save on a nicer, newer car during the Summer Sales Drive at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Let me have your attention for a moment. Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Subscribe to the Morning Rush podcast wherever podcasts are found.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. Former Arkansas quarterback Clint Sterner is going to be joining us in about 15 minutes. Really excited to catch up with Clint, talk some Arkansas football, get his insight on Cam Newton signing with the New England Patriots, and a bunch of other topics. Want to ask, coming up, can Treylon Burks and Davion Warren be an impact on special teams that Arkansas has desperately needed these last couple years? Is that going to happen in 2020? That's coming up here on the Morning Rush. Before we do that, I want to tell you about the Fence Man.
Yeah, if you always wanted a powered automatic gate at your home or your business, but you didn't know who to call to get one, well, let me introduce you to our friends at the Fence Man. 479-782-3936, whether it's a custom wrought iron gate or whether it's a commercial chain link fence that has an automatic opener or any kind of controlled access, they can do it with the Fence Man. So if you need any kind of installation, repair to your automatic gates, or any kind of card readers or things to make those things operate the way you need them for your business or your home, call the Fence Man. An 18-month same as cash financing now available as well. Hey, for your custom fence and automatic gate needs, call the Fence Man, 782-3936. That's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
So Connor Limpert was really the lone bright spot on special teams this past season. You saw a spurt here and there. I think Nathan Perotti might have had a good kick return or two, or a good punt return or two, but really Arkansas has not have a stud back there returning kicks and returning punts. And not to say Treylon Burks can't be that stud, but you think about Joe Adams, you think about Dennis Johnson, Felix Jones, Darren McFadden, the impact they made on special teams. Clay, I know Davion Warren was ranked as the 4th team All-SEC by Athlon Sports, and he's shown glimpses of what he can do. Do you think that this could be the season where we see an impact on special teams, particularly on returners from either Warren or Burks this upcoming year?
Yeah, it's. I think that's where we're headed, and I think the hiring of Scott Fountain as special teams coordinator is a major decision, and I think that's Sam Pittman knows that to have special teams where players understand the commitment the team has made. I was interviewing Trey Knox. This has been 2 weeks ago, and I was asking about playing for Sam Pittman, and he says, well, he's definitely a player's coach, and everybody likes him, but there's a time that it's business. And he said we had a special teams video virtual meeting, and our guys were just kind of going through the motions. Some questions were being asked by Scott Fountain, and a couple of guys stumbled around, and he said, Sam Pittman is in the room. He took over the virtual meeting and called a couple of guys out and said, hey, this is as important as your meetings with Kendall Briles or Barry Odom, because they had offensive and defensive players in the special teams meeting. He said, this is 33% of what we do on our team. Third offense, third defense, and third special teams. And he said, this this is how we're going to win games this year. And I think that what you say about putting those difference makers, Burks and Warren, on special teams is a big part of it. And I think that you'll see continued use of top-line players on special teams. You know, the critical aspect is you have to get enough players so that you're not wearing your team out, that you can rest some of those players on offense and defense and get them a blow so that you're not, not leaving somebody out there for extended plays. But I without question, Warren and Burks have SEC big playability.
And as far as the return game, obviously we'll talk about the kicking game and place kicking and the punting, but the return game really is, Clay, because of the change of the rules and the number of fair catches that you get in college football now, it's really about having a great punt returner, because I don't want to say kickoff returns are a lost art, but you just don't see them that much because of the new touchback rules.
Yeah, so let's just talk about that for a little bit as far as the punt return game. They got to force some punts. And during the bulk of last season, they didn't stop anybody. And they especially didn't stop anybody on the other end of the field, whereas teams are trying to punt long. If you stop them at the 45-yard line, they're just going to try to throw it, out of bounds inside the 10. So you've got to pin somebody back on the 25, then you got to get a 3 and out, and then you can get a punt, and it's probably going to be returnable. So that's the critical aspect of where you got to go in your punt return game. It starts with defense. And Arkansas's defense of late, if you go back and you chart how many punt returns they've had, it has been almost just nothing. I mean, the minimal amount. They're probably last in the SEC in number of punts. Well, that's because their defense is not forcing any 3 and outs. So yeah, they can turn the field over and we saw a couple of times, particularly late in the Kentucky game, where Burks set them up for a touchdown with the punt return, and that came back to they got a stop on defense. And it's your punter, your defense sets up the punt return. You pin them back, bottle them up, and then get a short field because of a good punt return. That's how you win games. Alabama, their punt return team has been terrific for the last 10 years under Nick Saban. I mean, terrific. And it starts with their defense.
Yeah, they had J.K. Scott, who I believe now is a Green Bay Packer and was one of the best punters in all of college football. Not only do they have the best athletes, they also have happened to have one of the best punters at the time. But, Clay, you mentioned Scott Fountain and being brought over from Georgia, and I know that Barry Lunney had the special teams assignments this past year as that head coach, but the emphasis on special teams, the willingness to hire a solo guy that is his job, is specifically special teams. Is that something that you think Sam Pittman has looked at years past at Arkansas in his own time, both at Georgia and other stops along the way? Why do you think he made the decision to hire Scott Fountain as his special teams coordinator?
Well, when he was at Arkansas, you didn't have the 10th assistant coach, so that wasn't something that you really had the luxury of doing. He was gone from Arkansas by the time that 10th coach came in. I think maybe Bielema got it for 1 year, but I think that he knows that at Georgia the special teams was the key to them winning the SEC East. That they had the best special teams in that part of the SEC, and concerted effort. And it comes down to a head coach that relied on defense, special teams. Your offense, if you're really good in those two areas, your offense can be pedestrian. And I don't think that's what Sam wants. He doesn't want a, lackluster offense, but you can win by playing defense and special teams. And Arkansas has done it, and that's what Frank Broyles did in the 60s. Now, this isn't the 60s. And with up-tempo, it's a little different. But, whether you're winning games 10-7 or 28-24, the way Georgia played, Georgia and Kentucky, they relied on their defense and won games with low-scoring situations. And Don't give anybody anything easy in the special teams. And Arkansas can be so much better just by eliminating the major blunders on special teams. I mean, you go back to last year, they're on the laughing stock of the country because of their errors in special teams. So just eliminating those would be a major improvement for this team.
You're exactly right. 877-377-6963. Got former Arkansas quarterback Clint Sterner joining us on the other side of the break. So if you have one for him, send him in. Clint joins us next.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Hey, Grounds guys.
Hey, what?
What's the first thing people see when they pull up to your house? That's right, the yard. Your curb appeal is everything to make a great lasting impression, and the Grounds guys are here to help. The Grounds guys provide spring cleanup, weed control, mowing and trimming, and anything to make your yard look its best to get that head-turning curb appeal. The Grounds guys are a professional crew with a passion to make your yard beautiful. Call today and get $100 off any annual maintenance plan. 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-4897.
When we rise above alcohol and drugs, we reach for, expect, achieve, and accomplish more. The minute we think about using alcohol or drugs, we lower our chance of living our best life. When we rise above, we respect ourselves and live our best life, not a stressed life. Being drug and alcohol free has always been the best way to be. Hey, it's my best me. Let's do this. Join the RAAD movement. Challenge yourself to rise above alcohol and drugs. To learn more, find and like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Region 2 Partners for Success, and you can reach us at 870-391-317.
Here's your chance to really shine and do something great for the whole state. Join the Great Arkansas Cleanup. Volunteers and community organizations will soon be picking up litter along Arkansas's roadways, streams, and shorelines, and in the process, helping the real natural state shine through. Join the Great Arkansas Cleanup. Go to keeparkansasbeautiful.com to find out how you can help keep Arkansas clean and green. A message from this station, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
For the month of June, Franco Furniture stocked full of Made in the USA. You heard right, Made in the USA furniture and Speed Queen washers and dryers all on sale. Franco Furniture wants you to know we're taking every precaution necessary to keep you safe. We will have hand sanitizer available along with masks. Franco Furniture's #1 priority is keeping our customers safe. In-store no credit check financing. Family owned and serviced after the sale for 27 years. Franco Furniture. 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is open and ready to serve you in the dining room or on the patio. Make your reservations by calling 478-9600. Joe's wants to say thank you to everyone that enjoyed curbside to-go and delivery service. And please know it's not going away. So come on in to Joe's for chips, salsa, all your favorite Tex-Mex, family packs, and your favorite cold beverages. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 for reservations. Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street across from Harps.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
To feel the calming effects of nature, take a deep breath. In and out. Every breath makes you feel closer to nature, and every sip makes nature feel closer to you. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold. Beer in its organic form.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is it time for a new printer? When looking for that new printer, you'll consider the new technology available, but also reliability, quality, cost, and access to service and supplies are important. With eConcierge from Dixie Digital and Xerox, you get free lifetime service coverage for your eligible Xerox printers, plus an easy way to order toner and ink. For more information, call Dixie Digital Imaging at 783-6600 or visit our website at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Chance of some showers and scattered thunderstorms today. Otherwise, clouds. Our high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. A few isolated showers or storms tonight. And overnight low will drop down into the 70s.
You're listening to the Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Turner for a wide open Eubanks. Touchdown!
Turner firing over the middle, and it's complete. Turner, 5-step drop this time, going for the home run, and it's caught.
Turner steps out of trouble, walks to a wide open receiver. It's Cobb towards the end zone. Touchdown! Goes down the middle. Touchdown! Arkansas! Oh my!
This is Clint Sterner, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Rush coming at you, going to the phone lines, welcoming in former Arkansas quarterback and current host of Clint Sterner and the show down in Houston on Sports Radio 610. Clint, good morning. Thanks for making some time for us, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been way too long. How you boys doing?
He left out the most important thing on your resume, former Morning Rush host. I mean, that's like
right
up at the top, right, Clint?
That's right. Top of the resume, baby.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Life is good. I can't complain. I mean, I know it's easy right now with what our country's going through, but I can't complain, man. Life is good.
Clint, we had your former teammate and one of your good friends, Anthony Lucas, on about a month or so ago, and we were asking him like the correlation between the movie Greater and how your guys' season actually went in '98. And the mindset of that football team, of you guys like coming in, not wanting to give up on the season with the new head coach, and in a lot of cases where some new head coaches come in, they play a lot of younger players. And he said the whole mentality of that team was coming together. Clint, looking at this team with Sam Pittman in year number 1, what is your biggest piece of advice on how this team needs to be rebuild under year 1 of Sam Pittman?
Well, I mean, I've said this from the jump. You know, I think that this team is much more talented than what they've shown the country over the last couple of years. So first and foremost, I think the biggest part is just, one, it can be done. Turning the corner sooner rather than later. In fact, turning it overnight and in one season, it can be done. Don't waller in the struggles of the last 2 seasons, and it just takes. There's a lot more talent there than maybe the last 2 seasons have shown. I firmly believe that. and you just got to put your blinders on and go back to work, man. And you got to have a little luck along the way. I think that's the one thing in '98 when we turned the corner, we didn't know how good we were as a team, but we trusted in the system, we trusted in the coaching staff, and we went out there and one game. Every win gave us more confidence. And then you looked up, and about 4 games in, you go, man, we're a pretty confident group. And then you get to thinking that you're actually talented and you're pretty dang good, and you belong in the SEC. And then from there on, anything can happen. So, I mean, look, there's a lot that goes into the formula to get these guys to turn the corner. But I think first and foremost, believing that you're talented enough to turn the corner. You're much more talented than what you've shown in the last two years. I think that's the key message out of the gate when they do get back together.
Clint, there's a lot of games this past season, a lot of drives this past season, really the past 2 seasons that you can be irritated by. But I think when you go back to last year, one of the most irritating statistics that you see is that Treylon Burks did not have a touchdown. And I know you're really high on the guy. What do you think he's going to be in Kendall Briles' offense in year number 1?
Man, I sure hope he's big time. I hope Kendall figures out a way to get him touches consistently. And if I know Kendall, I mean, look, I'm a Texas guy. I know his dad. I've watched him, ever since he became a coach, and watched him at Baylor, watched him at U of H. I know they didn't have a lot of success at Florida State, but that's a different monster out there. So I got to believe that if anybody can find a way to get certain receivers the ball, it's if his last name is Briles, you got a pretty dang good chance. So, I think that Treylon Burks is a guy that I'm blown away with his ability in the return game, as well as really he's one of those guys that anytime he touches the football, whether it's the jet sweep or it's some kind of Darren McFadden wild hog type of situation, or it's in the receiving game. I think in college football, that guy's the most valuable guy in the game, and you got to find ways to use him, not just in the pass game, but just throughout the 4 quarters in different ways in your offense. He's got to be the key cog, man. I know that's difficult when you got a Felipe Franks, you got a Rakeem Boyd, those kind of guys, but man, Treylon's special.
I wanted to ask you about Franks. Have you spent much time watching him on film? How much have you seen Franks play?
Yeah, I've seen him play a lot, man. I on film, not in person. He was one of those. Him and Kellen Mond, the 2 guys, Tommy, early when they first got to Florida and A&M respectively. That I saw him throw one ball, and you're like, that's the guy. Unless he's just a mental midget and he can't understand a college football playbook, then that's your guy. Just physically, the way that they stroke the football allows them to make every single throw, from the real quick sidearm bubble to his right or left, just a quick little swing route to his right or left, or driving the comeback on the sideline, or the deep ball over the middle, whether it's the post or the go route. He has the ability it's all arm talent, really, to be completely honest with you, but just his stroke I call it a power stroke. It's one of those that, man, it's supreme control. All the greats have it. And when you watch him throw with those 2 guys, I guess it was about 3 or 4 years ago when I first saw them, I said, Kellen Mond's going to start at A&M and have a decent little career, and Felipe Franks should be the guy in Florida. And it was all because of their physical mechanics and ability to toss the football around. So, man, I'm excited about that guy more than any of them, because I think Arkansas had some serviceable guys over the last few years, in Ty Storey, Ben Hicks. But when you look at what they have now, Felipe Franks is a difference maker physically. I don't know what he is mentally, but physically he's a difference maker.
All right, so break it down for us, because you look at it a little bit different. You coach quarterbacks, you study quarterbacks. What is it with his footwork, his arm mechanics? Give us some of that high-level stuff that you're able to talk about here.
Well, he's a full-body guy. You get a lot of guys that have a big arm, but they move like Gumby. They don't really transfer power from the ground up. So he's a little bit on the, I call it rigid, which that's a positive to me. A lot of coaches say that's a negative. For me, I want my guys to be a little bit rigid. I want them to be able, when they push and their push turns to a rotate, I want all that to be tied together. I don't want it to be Gumby. I don't want it to be a real twisty action. And then obviously the ball control is key, Tommy. I mean, you got a lot of guys that can spin it around the park, but it's like the ball is on the end of a wet noodle, and they just have they're generating a lot of arm speed, and the ball comes off their hand well. That's typically hard to control. When you talk about Felipe Franks, he has great ball control. If he needs to lift the ball right now, like say it's a screen or maybe it's one of those shallow crossers, and he needs to lift the ball right now, get his release point real high, and snap the football out, he has the ability to do that. If he needs to reach back and sidearm one, pull the old Pat Mahomes, then he has the ability to do that as well. He has great ball control. And the last thing, Tommy, is he has a power snap. I think that's it's a big difference between baseball and football, and it's a huge difference between whether a kid has it or doesn't have it, and he has a power snap. It's Aaron Rodgers. You've all seen Aaron Rodgers throw the ball. He's the most powerful snapper of the football on the planet with two legs. I mean, it's amazing what he can do. And if you have that snap, maybe not the Aaron Rodgers snap, but if you snap the football out of your hand, you got a strong wrist, then you can pass the football at a high level.
Clint, it's Clay. When you played, it looked like you were in perfect rhythm with your wide receivers, and y'all could make eye contact and knew the route that y'all could change to, and it was an effortless flow to how y'all ripped up a defense. In the systems that I see now, it's all about the coordinator making the calls at the line of scrimmage and communicating that situation that y'all seem to do just in an innate way. And have they gotten enough time yet to be where they need to be to get to where, say, you and Luke were and your other receivers? What they've happened in the last 3 months, is that going to wreck their progress?
Well, I tell you, it definitely makes it more difficult. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But to me, what the reason that Anthony Lucas and I, and Mike Williams, and Emmanuel Smith, and Boo Williams, and Jodine Davenport, and Al Herringer, the reason that we were, as you said, we just seemed to. I mean, we saw the game through the same lens. I mean, we had thrown literally, Clay. And you know this, you were around, man. I mean, I would. Joe Ferguson told us, look, guys, we're going to throw 4 days a week in the summer. If you're here and you're in summer school, we're throwing 4 days a week. And I'd say, okay, we're going to throw at 4 o'clock. When I showed up at 4 o'clock, Anthony Lucas and the entire receiving corps was there. I mean, they were already to the point where they were stretching and they were warming up where I mean, they had shirts off and ready to rock and roll. It wasn't walk up and everybody drinking on water and talking to some gal on the phone and playing some video game on the iPad in the corner. There was none of that. I mean, and so the reason that we were able to be so good in the pass game, sure, the offense was good. Sure, there was a lot of talent at the receiver position, but ultimately we saw the game through the same lens. We stayed on the field, whether it was practice or summer. If Anthony Lucas ran a corner or Anthony Lucas ran a comeback and I missed him, then we lined up and did it again. If Coach didn't let us do it again, then we stayed after practice and did it again. And I just don't know that exists as often. I don't know if that is as common now as it once was. These kids have so many distractions that I got to believe the biggest hurdle for this coaching staff is to get these guys to put the phones down, forget about the girls, forget about your problems at home, and get on the field consistently throughout the week and put the work in that's necessary. The ones that can do it, they'll separate themselves like never before. But it's not as common to do that. And that's all I know. That's why Anthony Lucas and I had so much success, is because I could dang near throw Anthony blindfolded. It didn't matter what route it was. We had done it so many times in practice and through the summer that it didn't matter. So, yeah, this time makes it hard, Clay, no doubt about it. It makes it hard for all of us to do our jobs. But ultimately, man, I mean, if those guys are putting that work in with Felipe and maybe three receivers, then we should see it on Saturdays, if and when that happens.
We're talking with Clint Stoerner here on the Morning Rush. Clint, you mentioned your rapport with Anthony Lucas. Was it a particular game, a particular practice? When did you know that you were going to have chemistry with this guy?
Well, every day at practice. I mean, there was no. I don't know if there was any one moment, but Ty, I knew early, man, because Anthony and I, we beat to the same drum. I mean, we're never satisfied Hard will never fail you for hard work. I mean, that's not a problem. Effort's not a problem. And ultimately, Anthony understood that if I was asking him to stay after and throw with me, or come in the summer and throw with me, because I didn't feel comfortable with something. And Anthony knew that if I didn't feel comfortable, it was going to affect his game. And us being on the same page was the most important thing. And I knew that from an early stage of our careers together. Is I realized, obviously, Anthony's extremely talented. Don't let me forget to tell you that. I mean, obviously, he's unbelievably talented. But man, the hunger, the desire, the love to be on the practice field, and the willingness to just, I mean, unbelievable work ethic made it very easy for a quarterback like me, man. I knew if I didn't make just a terrible, like, I could afford to make a bad throw and he would make up for it. I just had to minimize my mental mistakes. Don't throw into double coverage. Don't miss 5 yards inside. Make sure you hit him in line or out over his outside shoulder. And he made me look good, man. But look, in radio right now, when you get a guy that just grinds through it and gets all the audio chopped up for you, man, and the rundown's right, and when mistakes are made, he cares. He wants to listen. He wants to learn, or he wants to coach. I mean, that was Anthony. That he wasn't the guy that when we went to work or when we failed just laughed and giggled and went to the sideline and chit-chatted with his buddies, or just went home after practice. He cared and stayed after and went to work. And that's when I get that right there, man. I don't care if it's radio business or football. I'm going to grind with him, and we're going to have success.
Clint, I thought you brought up a good point talking about distractions, whether it's social media, video games, and on and on and on. These kids, different from when you were playing, have a lot more to deal with. That's not to say that should be an excuse or anything, but the biggest distraction right now, Clint, is the coronavirus and everything going on. And I know when you think about college kids, good-looking young men that want to go out and have a good time with females or just be social or whatever, and now they're being told, hey, you can't do this. Clint, as a former college player that never had to go through this, but I want to get your perspective. How do you think players are adjusting to this, them being told, hey, you can't really be social in a time period of their life when, man, that's all they really want to do right now?
Yeah, I think that's the big question. It's clearly we're not doing it very well, because down here in Houston, it's blowing up. It's spiking again, I guess is the right way to put it. And I think a lot of that has to do with, man, when you open the bars and the clubs back up to 50% capacity or whatever it is you do, then I think we invite, it's not the kids, it's all of us. Human nature is, oh, okay, well, we're good, let's move on. And then the next thing you know, it spikes again. So I think it's a moving target for any of us to get it right. So I don't want to single out the kids, but when it's all said and done, man, it goes back to what I said from the jump. The guys that are disciplined enough to and care enough to go, dang it, I'm not good enough. I need to get better. I've got to stay and get more work. I got to get my grades right. The guys that care and it matters, and ultimately what they want to do is win and be successful in school or football or heck, thumb wrestling for that matter. I think those guys, for the most part, as back in the 90s when I was there to today, those guys will mind their P's and Q's and be coachable for the most part. But as a whole, man, it's hard to keep them cats under wraps, man. I can't imagine what Coach Pittman's up against when you got 100 of them that you've got to try to corral, and now you've got coronavirus shaking everything up, man. So, I don't want to single anybody out because Ty, I don't think any of us are doing a good enough job at this point in time.
So what is the feel? You're there in Houston. The numbers are on the rise there. They're same issues, particularly in Northwest Arkansas and in Arkansas, but across our state. As testing's increased, we've seen 500 to 700 cases, many days of positive tests. What's the feeling there in Houston, Clint? Are we going to play football? Is there going to be a delay? I can't imagine the state of Texas with no high school, college, or pro football, and and how they would cope with that situation.
Yeah, Tommy. I gotta believe that they're going to figure out a way to make it happen. I mean, one is we've got you got a month before I guess late July as training camp starts or cranks up, and then I would imagine they've already canceled the Hall of Fame game, the first preseason game in the NFL. I would imagine that they would adjust in some way, shape, or form with that with the other preseason games. Heck, man, they've been trying to minimize the number of games in preseason anyway. This may be a great time for the NFL to make an adjustment and see if it works. But so I think they buy a couple of months there, and I think by that time we will be further along in understanding of how we cope with it, how we deal with it, how they treat it, how they immunize. Is there an immunization out there? I just think that we're so far out that right now the feel is here that absolutely they're going to find a way to play. Now, fans may not be in the stands, but they're going to find a way to make it safe enough to where two football teams at the NFL level of the right age group males can get out there and compete and make the money. There's so much money involved. Everybody I talk to says there's no way in hell they don't figure it out.
Clint, before we let you go, man, with Cam Newton, I know that you're going to spend the majority of your time on your show today talking about him signing with the New England Patriots. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think it's going to work out for him out there in Boston?
Man, it's interesting because I'm sticking to my guns. I think Cam Newton's done, man. I just don't. After watching that Week 2 performance versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, and really just the way that there was 3 or 4 throws in critical moments in that game where he just one-hopped the receivers. And I don't know if that's a result of his foot. I don't know if that was a result of his shoulder or he had done a lot of work on his mechanics but nonetheless, when I saw that game, I just thought, man, this is the end of one of the best quarterbacks, athletic quarterbacks to ever play the game. And so I'm going to stick to my guns that he's done. But it's an interesting topic, man. Does New England adjust their offensive style? Do they go hire Gus Malzahn? I'm just joking. However, do they go to that style of offense where they're running him downhill more? Or do they really try to put the square peg in a round hole and get him to do Tom Brady type things? I don't think either one of those are very likely. And I love Jarrett Stidham, so I think Stidham ends up being the guy in in New England, and Cam Newton's done. I'm sticking to my guns on that. Well, we're gonna slice that up 6 ways this Sunday today, though. There's no doubt about it.
Former Arkansas quarterback, host of Clint Sterner and the Show in Houston, and former host of the Morning Rush, Clint Sterner, joining us this morning. Clint, do me a favor, stay in Houston, and don't come back and take my job, man.
Never, man. No chance. You host, boy. Y'all are a different breed now. Y'all be good, brother.
Appreciate it, Clint.
See you, Clint. Good to chat with our old buddy Clint Sterner. We're brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. They're all about you right now. They're making it easy, whether you want curbside to go, you want to call ahead and have it ready and go in and pick it up, or you want to dine in on their patio or outside on the patio or in the dining room. They can take care of you at Joe's. They've still got the family packs that you can pick up. The taco bar is great. The fajita bar is great. They got enchiladas and several options. You can read those online at joesfortsmith.com or call 478-9600. They'll also give you a reservation as well. So if you'd like to have a reservation maybe for a bigger group, for lunch or dinner, Joe's can help you with groups of 10 or smaller. It's all at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street. They're right across from Harps, or online at joesfortsmith.com.
One of the things I always appreciate about talking with Clint Sterner is you almost feel like you're in the huddle. You feel like you're having a conversation with a football player, but he doesn't use dialect. He doesn't use verbiage that's too complicated. He not dumbs it down for us, but he can talk to us in a way that it's not too over the top that we don't understand it, and it sounds good. So we'll continue to talk about what he had to say coming up here on the Morning Rush. We'll react to that. You can also find that interview, if you didn't get to listen to it its entirety, on hitthatline.com. We'll also have it for you in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast. We are 68 days out from Arkansas football. 68 days, going back to 2011 against Texas A&M, where Jarius Wright caught a long ball from Tyler Wilson. We'll talk on that coming up, and we'll also get Clay's reaction to what Clint had to say here on the Morning Rush. 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text in. Also still got the best and worst of the weekend.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Coach Muck, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Are your appliances struggling? Do you need that part and not sure where to go? Mid-South Distributing has you covered with 9 locations in the Arkansas area. Appliance parts and accessories for all major brands of appliance. Mid-South Distributing has you, the customer, in mind when you're needing that part for your appliance. Mid-South Distributing. Check out midsouthparts.com to find your location near you. Mid-South Distributing. We're in your neighborhood.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Has it been too long since your last haircut? Knockouts Haircuts for Men is now open at Fort Smith. The Knockouts girls are ready and waiting for you at their new location right next to JJ's on Phoenix Avenue. Knockouts Haircuts for Men may be the only place in this area where not only do you get the best haircut of your life, but they give you a free beer too after you're done. That's right. Get your haircut, get your free beer. That's just the way it works at Knockouts Haircuts for Men. Download the Knockouts app to make an appointment, and we'll see you real soon at Knockouts Haircuts for Men in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
We're proud to say Mosquito Joe of Arkansas has been providing professional mosquito control service for nearly a decade now. In that time, nothing has been more satisfying than hearing from our customers about the difference Mosquito Joe has made in their yard. If you haven't tried Mosquito Joe yet, then don't take it from us. Google Mosquito Joe of Arkansas. Look at our reviews, read what our customers are saying, and then call 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Get your first service for $39.
Evans Body Shop wants you to know that you are now able to get the repair process started on your schedule. With just a few clicks of your cell phone, you can send photos and your vehicle information directly to our shop. We will respond within 24 hours with a detailed estimate for repairs. It's that simple. We are here for you. Visit our website for all of the details. We offer complimentary pickup and drop-off as well, and extra steps are being taken to ensure your car is returned as good as new and completely sanitized.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Jelco Outdoors is your summertime get outside and have some fun headquarters. Fishing equipment, fishing kayaks, canoes, archery equipment, firearms for target shooting,
and comfortable footwear for hiking. Gelco has all the great gear to make your time outdoors a great adventure. Hunters, it's time to get those game cameras out and start scouting for fall. Gelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
I don't think I have any brain damage, but that's yet to be seen. I probably wouldn't swing the golf club very well.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is The Morning Rush. That's it.
68 days out from Arkansas football. And we'll talk about that as well as get Clay Henry's reaction on Clint Sterner coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, well, turn your backyard into an oasis this summer with Burton Pools and Spas, semi-in-ground pools, less than $10,000. They got over 60 luxury spas in stock to choose from, starting at $26.95. These prices include delivery cover and startup chemicals to get you going. And another great way to spend 4th of July is Big Green Eggs. Love cooking over charcoal, the lump charcoal with a Big Green Egg, and the way that whole system works with that ceramic is just the best cooking device you'll ever use. And you'll find you'll find everything you need, not only the Big Green Eggs from every size, but every accessory you need to really enjoy that as well. Springdale and in Fort Smith, online at burtonpools.com. Everything you need for a backyard oasis is at Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Clay, he talked about the chemistry that he had with Anthony Lucas, how they would do different patterns, go through different throws and stuff, and if one of them messed up, they would want to do it again. And I thought that was really cool insight from Clint's perspective on his relationship in his playing days with Anthony Lucas. And when you look at the quarterback room, and I think we think that Felipe Franks is going to be the starter. I know you wrote a piece on him this past weekend, but is there a guy or is there guys that you think really need to connect with Felipe Frank early on this season that hopefully they can see not the exact same chemistry that we saw with Anthony Lucas and Clint, but hopefully trending in that direction?
Well, he's an experienced guy, so he understands exactly what Clint was talking about, and that this is the time when you make it or break it. And unfortunately, that was exactly what Ben Hicks told me, that was his job, is to get on the same page with the receivers. And ultimately it comes down to, can the receivers get separation? And can Kendall Briles and his system recognize what the defense is and get them in the best looks with his calls at the line of scrimmage? And what they do between snaps is the most important part of this offense. It's what makes it go. Trey Knox tells me that it's a dream offense for the wide receivers, and that it's a skilled player's dream. But they haven't been able to work with their quarterback coach. They haven't been able to do any of those drills with the defense out there. That's the part that just baffles me on how they're going to be in sync to start the season. Now, getting that extra 2 weeks, before August, starting July 24th, and I keep hearing you guys count down to the first game. The countdown is less than 30 days from when practice begins. Mm-hmm. And the freshmen reported to campus this past weekend, which was unbelievably important that they get those guys in, because I think that they're defensively, they signed 15 guys in the last class on the defensive side of the ball, and that's where the speed for this defense is going to come from, that they signed more speed than Arkansas has in the last 3 years put together. So I believe that those guys are going to play. Where they're going to play and how they fit into the depth chart, that's the challenge for Barry Odom, is to judge them correctly in the first week, get them in the right positions so that they can learn the installation and prosper. And then the same thing is going to be going on the offensive side. They've got a new tight end coming in. How quickly will he implement or be able to understand the calls and the situations and be able to help, because he's the one that's the perfect combination of hands, speed, and size that they've got in this tight end group. Hudson Henry, hasn't shown that he's a blocker yet. Now, will he be, this August? But that's how he's going to get on the field. I kind of have a feeling that you're going to see Treylon Burks moved both in the slot and inline and in the H-back situation to get him the ball more. Then the other guy that no one's talking about, I haven't heard anybody mention him on the radio. I haven't seen any stories. But the guy that fascinated me last August after transferring from Arizona State is Treylon Smith. And I think that he is a guy that can make people miss. He's got a wiggle, and he's got speed. And like Kendall Briles told me, he says, what you can't touch, you can't tackle. And that's the key to this offense, is having guys that you can't touch, that get in space and they're gone.
Yeah, and multiple quality running backs is a necessity to win games in the SEC. It's like you can't have too many quarterbacks, you can't have too many running backs. And
well, I think that you'll see Boyd and see Rakeem and Treylon play at the same time. You're going to have Trey Knox, Treylon Burks, Treylon Smith. They're all going to be out there with Burks. That's where this offense is going, and sprinkle in some De'Vion Warren. And, they'll play with the tight end some, but if they don't have somebody step up that can do all the different areas of the tight end, if he's not as good a blocker, he can't play H-back, can't play fullback, they'll go without him until they have one. I mean, they're not going to play one just because the offense calls for one. It will be they'll play the most talented guys on the field to create matchup problems.
And we're brought to you by River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center. It's become one of our favorite places for lunch, dinner, and brunch on the weekends. It's at River City. You can order online from their Facebook page. Just search for River City Bistro on Facebook or go to their website, rcbistro.com. You can order right there, even have it delivered from right there. Locally owned, great deli sandwiches like their Reuben, their Turkey Devonshire, great salads, great soups. It's all at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I absolutely love your show. I can't listen to anything else on the drive to work in the morning other than the morning rush.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
As a family on the move, we've always relied on our car. But these days, it's more than just transportation. It's kept us safely connected with friends and family. We went to my niece's drive-through graduation in here, and I don't know how many birthday party parades we've rolled up on. World's largest ball of twine. Whoa. And now it's 4 first-class eats to a bucket list road trip out west. Look, kids, a jackalope. Yeah! Michelin is going the distance so you can safely keep yours. Starting June 27th for a limited time. Get a $40, $90, $120, or even a $150 reward card after online submission. When you bundle purchases of at least 2 Michelin or BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires, select Michelin motorcycle, scooter, and UTV tires, or select Michelin bicycle tires. See MichelinMan.com/promotion for complete details. Offer expires July 6, 2020. Void where prohibited. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith today for your quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best in-class service.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
It's time for the annual trade-up event at Breeden RV, going on through June 30th. Trade up and get up to $5,000 on NADA trade-in value. Take advantage of rock-bottom prices on all new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. Head to Breeden RV's trade-up event and get free maintenance for life on everything new. Breeden RV will also take care of your service needs on all makes and models. Shop today at BreedenRV.com, then come see Breeden RV between Van Buren and Alma on Alma Highway. Breeden RV, where adventures begin. See dealer for details.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Things are really heating up at Rath Auto Resources. Hi folks, Larry Rath here with our biggest sale of the year, the Summer Sales Drive. It's the best time to save on a great inventory of Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center to ensure you're buying the best pre-owned vehicle you'll find anywhere. And we're making it easy with $1,200 Rath Auto Relief to use as you choose on select inventory and summer savings on every car in stock. Like a 2018 Hyundai Elantra SEL, low miles and fully equipped, just $13,993, or payments as low as $0 down and $219 a month while they last. If you're keeping the car you have, let us get it ready for summer in the Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Summertime is fun time and the right time to save on a nicer, newer car during the Summer Sales Drive at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter Agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Pick it up a little bit, okay? Get your chin up. Smile! Smile! Dang, you guys all right? If not, I'm not talking!
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
All right, welcome back into the Morning Rush. Want to get Tommy and Clay Henry's insight on a couple people that unfortunately have left us over the weekend and more recently than not. And we'll get into those conversations coming up here. Before we do that, I want to tell you about World of Wireless.
World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. If you want to lock in your price for 2 years, you can do it now with World of Wireless. They also have everything involving the Google Home and the Nest automation, the Google Home doorbell system. In fact, if you sign up for Dish right now, you get that for free and install with World of Wireless. But anything you want home automation-wise, whether it's cameras, thermostats, the doorbell system, they have all of that available for you. And a lot of it will integrate with not just your Alexa, but also with your Dish network system as well. Call Ben and the crew at World of Wireless. 2-year price guarantee, 877-305-DISH.
So both Charles Ripley and Jerry McConnell are two guys that you wanted to talk about today, both you and Clay. They mean, obviously, a lot to a number of different people. So I don't have a great historical knowledge of that, so I'm going to let you guys kind of take it from here as far as those guys' impact on you guys' lives and then as far as some other people as well.
Well, I mean, Little Rock, the basketball we see today in Little Rock would not be what it is without Charles Ripley. He from the mid-'80s on, when I think he was head coach at Parkview for 12 years, was in the state championship game 10 times, won 5 of them. High school basketball in Little Rock was great. But Clay, I think it's safe to say it wouldn't be what it is today without Coach Rip.
Yeah, just what you remember about Coach Rip, and of course the championships speak for itself, but he gave just about everything he had to the players that he coached. And I mean, he gave his time, he gave his money, he gave his love. He was a mentor, helped so many and so often. I can remember covering a University of Tulsa, Southwest Missouri game. I think the coach at you're gonna have to help me, Tommy. At Southwest Missouri at that time was he was from Rogers. Anyway, I was there at the game and covering the game, and it was right after the game. I was waiting outside the locker room to talk to the different head coaches, and all once here's a Rip, and he's got 8 Parkview kids just to come to the game. And I said, "Are they recruiting any of these guys?" He says, "No, I just want them to see as much college basketball as can." Yeah. So I'll take you back to when I was 15. I was playing Pony League baseball at Mar Porter Field, and Rip coached a team. My brother coached a team. Buddy Coleman coached another team. And Rip put together an all-star team, and we went to the Show Me Baseball camp. And we got ready to go, and my mother was there, just had dropped me off at Lamar Porter Field, and she walked up to Coach Rip and said, "How much money does Clay need, for this camp?" And he says, "I've raised it in the community. They don't need anything. I'm not asking parents to pay for this." And we went up there and whipped up on some Kansas City and St. Louis teams at the Show Me Baseball camp in Missouri. And that was my first realization of what Ripley was all about. I mean, he just took care of the kids and helped so many people, and he did it, really his whole life. And they were his kids. He wasn't married, didn't have children, but he took care of his players. And you will not find anybody that has a bad word to say about. I just called him Coach Rip.
Yeah, I think everybody called him Coach Rip. I got to, from the officiating standpoint, see him at Arkansas Baptist. He coached a number of years there. He was at Parkview, then he came to what's now UA Fort Smith, spent a couple of seasons there, and then was at Arkansas Baptist till he ended his coaching career. And everything you just said, I witnessed firsthand many times with the way he would handle his players. So Little Rock basketball is far greater than it would be without him. So he set the tone and gave a lot of kids opportunities there.
Yep. Jerry McConnell was worked for my dad at the Arkansas Gazette, and his kind of claim to fame in Arkansas journalism is that he brought into being and convinced the AAA, Arkansas Activities Association, to have the Meet of Champs. And he was a track guy and compiled the list of the best times, was the first one to do that, and just religiously fought to get those lists updated every week with the best performances across the state. Just a wonderful service that he did for track. And now you go back to the the 50s when Wilson Matthews was king at Little Rock Central. My father assigned him to cover Little Rock High, and so he chronicled all those great championship teams when they were winning and playing. Teams from all across the country traveled with those teams. He lived about 4 houses from us in Meadowcliff, and you'd have to know Southwest Little Rock. So me and my brothers were in and out of his house, and then later he was briefly, I think, sports editor of the Arkansas Democrat, then sports editor at the Daily Oklahoman in Oklahoma City. And he broke the story when the University of Georgia and Oklahoma University sued the College Football Association, the NCAA, to, I would call it, decentralize college football as far as TV. That was a huge story at the time, and I think he won awards for the way he covered it and the way he broke that story. I think he retired in Greenwood and passed this weekend at 92. Great guy, low key, just a top end journalist that did our profession proud.
So,
and good stories there. I think probably a lot of our audience unfamiliar with his work. So I'm glad you shared that with us.
So that was kind of probably the worst of you guys this weekend. We'll get into our best coming up. My buddy Johnny got a new puppy, and it's a lab and golden retriever mix. You see that video?
I saw the video, and I was beginning to wonder or ponder whether or not this was your puppy.
Mine. I wish. I got a lot of jealousy as far because he's a mostly lab, got a little golden retriever in him, but it's a great dog. He named him Heston. Based off Heston Kjerstad, and he was named after, so really cool. It's the cutest dog as could be. Played some kickball yesterday, got in the sun, got in some exercise and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. Also got to see my parents over the weekend. I hadn't seen my dad and my stepmom since Christmas. That was good to see them, just to hang out with them, hang out with my my grandma and stuff over the weekend. So I would say the combination of just going outdoors and then also hanging out with the Rents this weekend was probably my best of the weekend.
Is kickball a big pastime of yours? You're the first person I've known over about the age of 12 that plays kickball.
So I played kickball about a year and a half ago in Memphis with my buddy Eric and his friends, and I had not played since. And for whatever reason, just got a text from my buddy Tim, and he got together this kickball group, and we just played yesterday. It's good social distancing. No one's too near each other or anything. Good exercise, and we had a good old time yesterday. Played out there by, for those that live in the Fort Smith or been in the Fort Smith area, the Boys and Girls Club Fields, kind of over by Northside, wherever that is. Church League Fields is what they were called.
Church League Fields.
So that's where we played out there. It was a lot of fun, and but I hadn't played in quite some time, so it was a good time to get back out there. So
I got to play golf this week. That's probably my best of the weekend. It's Laura's birthday today, so happy birthday to my wife. So
happy birthday, Mrs. Laura.
We spent the weekend celebrating her, and the way I honored and celebrated hers. I got out of the house for about 8 hours on Saturday, and she was very thankful. And I got to play a little golf this weekend, and that's the second time I've touched the clubs all year. So I was it's just good to be out there.
Shot a 78.
78.
Now, did you shoot Did you tee off from the grandpa's tees, or how'd you?
No, I'm not old enough for that. I'm not Clay's age. I can't use the forward tees.
Okay. So that's good. Well, 78's really good. I would kill for 78.
Well, the greens were just recovering. We played at Chamberlain and Danville. They were just recovering, not quite back from aeration, where they'd punched them and top dressed them, and it still a little bumpy, but they'll grow back in nicely here in the next few weeks. So,
what about you, Clay? What was your best of the weekend?
Well, just my birthday party. Yep, just a little 2-person, if you don't count the dog, little dinner cruise on Lake Norfolk. That was pretty cool. I played golf, didn't play as well as Tommy, but hit some shots and had fun and enjoyed, a perfect day, 82 degrees with no wind. This was really a nice weekend. It's it really kind of, I'm on vacation, whether I'm doing this show out of courtesy to you guys. But I'm, Friday started the vacation.
Just lay it out there. Lay it out there. Thank you, Clay.
Yeah, I knew you couldn't do it without me, so I just
we were trying to figure out how we'd go on. So, but we're very thankful you're here. Absolutely.
Life as you know it is going to change in another few days because I am going to go on a trip. So,
I don't know what we're
likely headed to Colorado in the high country. So, I will really practice some social distancing out there. It'll be me and the trout.
Yeah, beautiful part of our country. That's the best and worst of the weekend. It's brought to you by Trinity Multifamily. If you're tired of your noisy neighbors, if you're looking to upgrade your apartment, maybe looking for a bigger duplex or townhome, call our friends at Trinity Multifamily, whether it's Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, or in the Hot Springs area, or Central Arkansas. Trinity Multifamily manages thousands of units in communities near you. 479-452-1817 to talk to them, or search online anywhere you're looking to live at TrinityMultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Still looking forward to when we all go play for the first time. Waiting at the beck and call.
Oh, to play golf with me and Clay? I think Clay is really hoping we could get that in this week.
Shame I'll be out of town.
Yeah. That's one of those things that you can hope and wonder when it's going to happen, Ty, but it might be years away. years. Just yeah. You can just kind of dream about that, but I think hell's going to freeze over.
Did you take Bo and Bart golfing and Saul? Because Saul's a scratch golfer, played golf at A-State, for those who don't know. But did you ever take Bart and Bo golfing, Clay? Did they ever get it? Is that the rite
maybe
of passage?
20 or 30 times.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 20 or 30
They're
times.
members at the same club.
Oh. I guess they have
Go
to
to the men's grill together.
A highfalutin country club member for
No, I never took them golfing.
Okay.
I never did. Never played. I never saw either one of them hit a shot.
So that could be something I have a leg up on them, I guess. Something to achieve.
No, you're going to be exactly the same as them.
No, because we're going to go golfing eventually. I'm going to persuade you somehow, some way. I don't know how it's going to work.
It'll be an accident.
Instead of 2 hours with Ty, you'd get 5.
Yeah,
How awesome for you,
Hey,
Clay.
Tommy, if you find out that he's going to play golf, just alert me so I won't be at the same place at the same time.
That's fair. So maybe you and I can go play a lotion sometime, Clay. You can invite me down there.
Now, if you could get Clay on a lotion, he may actually
Would he actually
tolerate
play?
you for 5 hours.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't get on a lotion because I wouldn't be loud. I'm not respectable enough to play
Oh,
that
I can.
course. So that's
I
something.
can get on.
Of course you can, Clay. Why am I not
But,
surprised?
but I can't take you.
Okay. Maybe someday. Maybe in 20 years I'll get to
take
go.
Bart, though.
So, Clay, I appreciate you.
You can't wear cutoffs there.
Yeah.
You can't wear cutoffs there.
I don't wear cutoffs, so we'll end it there. For Clay Henry, Tommy Kraft, and Matt Jenkins, I'm Ty Richardson. Don't spend life centering hands. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Now is